Coach, would you like to start with an opening statement?
Yeah, we're looking forward to the wagon wheel game against Kent State. They've got a new coach that's really sharp and doing a great job over there. And like a lot of people in the MAC, the record doesn't really indicate of how good they're playing. But we're trying to come back from a couple of games where we just let them get away from us in the second half. We very much like Miami at Buffalo. We had a chance to go up in the third quarter with a play down to the 1 yard line. I got called back for an illegal pick, which it was. We try not to pick, we try to shield, and our guy got too aggressive, and his shield became a pick. And so it wasn't a bad call, it was just unfortunate. But the game got away from us, and our kids against a good football team, Buffalo. And now we've got to get ready for wagon wheel. And I guess because this is such an emotional game and such a key game, because it's a rivalry game, it's a good time to have it. People say, well, do you like it at the end? Do you like it right now? I probably like it right now, because it's not very difficult getting your players excited about playing the rivalry. And so we look forward to it. And no, we've got to continue to improve and play better, and to get ready for this football game.
So it's about difficult to get them up to play their rival. Have they been down the past two games?
No, we played good football teams and we haven't been able to finish. We've got to be a little more productive. We're not productive enough on offense and put enough points on the board. Defense plays well, but we just are not playing as well as we need to play. I don't think the kids, and the fact, you look at the way our first half has been in these games. We've been either winning or right there tied with these teams in the first half going into the third quarter, and then it just gets away from us at the end. And so we just got to, I think the key is we just got to continue to try to be more productive offensively. We need to get some touchdowns in the end zone, and it's nice that Mr. Gasser is doing very, very well on field goals, but I sure would like to give him less chance. He's 9 for 11 and has made some long ones, but I'd love to give him less chance. But I think Kent State's had a lot of good field goal kickers, done real well too.
I'm doing a story on him. You mentioned his name. I'm going to ask about Gasser.
Yeah.
He's kind of a throwback, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. It's funny. He didn't come here as a place kicker. He just as a punter. And he doesn't have the strongest leg, but he's incredibly accurate. If he's sitting anywhere around the 50, he's going to put it inside the 20, probably around the 10 or 5. He's going to keep you pinned back, and then he beat out all of our place kickers, and very unusual. And then we didn't think, well, he couldn't kick the long ones, but now most of all his last kicks are over 40 yards, and so Nick Gasser's just done a real good job walking on here and finding a way. It's kind of like the accurate foot. He's got a very, very accurate foot. He hits the ball. If you watch the way he punts in practice, it's always a spiral. It's always going in the direction he wants it to go. And in field goals, he's very, very accurate too. And I guess I always relate it to golfers that have a great ability to put the club on the ball exactly the same way over and over again. That's his biggest strength. It's not size or strong leg. It's just the ability to put the foot on the ball exactly the same way over and over again.
Do you think there's any difficulty in having responsibility for both of those gigs?
I don't think it is. I think it's dangerous if you lose him. If you lose one, you lose both of them. And now we do have backup kickers that we take and backup punters that we take. But when you've got one guy you depend on, you don't want to lose him, because he's your best guy at both positions. And so we didn't plan it that way. It just turned out that way, and we're sure glad it did.
I know you hate the term. Mm-hmm. I got to ask the question: Is Saturday must win, for reasons other than the fact that it's your rival?
Well, I mean, it's a conference game, and our goal was to try to win this conference. We're running out of games to lose. In that way, I think all the conference games are a must, because you got to beat your conference opponents to have a chance to make the conference championship game. Now, we lost 2 conference games last year, and we went 6-2 in the conference, but we're down 2 already. We've left no room for error, and there's some real good teams. I think the conference is very, very competitive and very good. this year. There's no gimmies, I don't think, on the schedule in this conference. And so again, we just got to but it's our rival game, and I guess from the standpoint, if we're gonna make a run, we better start making that run now in our conference games.
Looking from the outside in,
Mm-hmm.
what has their new coach done to reinvigorate that program? Can you see?
I just it's Bowling Green style that turned the conference kind of on its head for a couple of years over there, and he's doing very much the same thing, and I think that it's having at least the initial part of the effect is the same. He's taking a program that was a lot further down. I think Bowling Green, the last 3 coaches have gone to somewhere else to be head coaches, and so it was or the previous 2, so it was a little bit quicker, easier to turn that one around. But he's sure done. He's added that type of excitement to the program.
In facing Barrett on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
You faced Jackson last week. He started to move around again. What pressure? I don't want to say problem, but just what does he do when he starts moving and trying to create a play for your defense?
Well, the biggest thing is, you want to get after him, so he has to move and get him out of his place. But you sure got to contain him and keep him hemmed up. And the most difficult thing is for your defensive backs. Defensive backs have a mental clock. Most balls have to be thrown in 2 seconds or 1.5, whatever it is. And so there's a covering. When a quarterback has the ability to extend the play, but also keep his eyes downfield. If you'll notice, Tyree Jackson, one of the great things he did was not just extend the play to run. He extended a play with his eyes downfield, and what that does is puts the defensive backs in a real bind of having to stay on top of people until the quarterback can throw it. And so the quarterback has the same possibilities. He makes things happen when they don't happen exactly the way they were drawn up.
Defensively, they've given up a lot of yards, but they've made a lot of turnovers. They turned a good Ohio team. They forced 5 turnovers.
Right.
Ball possession it's got to be a key.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is. We've had some late turnovers that hurt us, especially against Miami. But turnovers, and our defense has been pretty good at getting turnovers as well. So that's going to be a factor, because I think in games like these, I could almost point to explosive plays and turnovers, and that being a difference. So no, they're very opportunistic in that regard.
There appeared to be times before you guys fell behind last week that it looked like there was going to be some semblance of a running game. Do you see it that way?
It's been, yeah, go ahead.
Are you going to have to spread the ball around to Deltron's hands? I know he got a few more carries.
I think we still have to make that running game work. It's the amount of, we don't have a play over 10 or 12 yards. The biggest thing we've got to do, you take 120 yards that we have and you add a 50-yard run or a couple of 30-yard runs, all of a sudden you're at 185 yards. We don't have the long runs that you see teams that average better. They pop one in there. They pop a yard, 1 or 2, and that's kind of what you need. If you looked at as I've watched Miami film from last week against Kent State, stop them, boom, there's a 40-yard run. Boom, there's a 35-yard run, and all of a sudden they've got 200 yards of rushing. And so that's where we have to continue to block second level. And then I tell our running backs, you mentioned Deltron Sands, I tell our running backs, big plays usually come when the running back makes the unblocked defender miss, because there's always an unblocked defender, whether it be a safety or cornerback or someone in that we can't account for, and good running back's got to make that guy miss. But we got to continue to work on it. We lost Brandon Council, and we've got him replaced, and the line's got to come together. We got to mix it in well.
What's Alvin Davis' status for the weekend?
Should be ready to go. He's ready.
Along the lines of the injuries, I'm not going to ask you about it.
Okay.
But anywhere in college football, but in 11, the group of 5 like the MAC and all that. I mean, not necessarily there's a big drop off from the starters to the backups, but usually they're younger or they don't have experience or something like that. I mean, it's not they can't play; they just haven't really had to do it in a game situation.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about injuries. I know, but I'll say this: when I was coaching 1AA football, and we talk about this all the time, of when you're coaching at a Power 5 when you're 1AA, you play 11 guys. You don't got your best guys stay on the field as long as they can stay on the field. When you're the higher up you go, the more you got 2 or 3 rotating, just because you got good players rotating, and so that's just done because they all deserve to play. They're all talented. But what happens when somebody gets hurt, the next guy has got all that playing experience, and when you're playing at 11 or you're not getting the younger ones able to play because you got then that does hurt your depth in that regard to that extent. But we got some young players that we're you bite your lip, you hold your breath, and you got to put them in the game. And we got some younger ones that we've got to get playing experience.
I mean, Zaire or Jacobs played pretty well.
He's another one of our young guys. We've got some young receivers. Our biggest problem is our older receivers are just now starting to, just all new starters. So and that's coming along, and they have to come along as well. So again, somebody's got to step up. When you have an outstanding team, somebody steps up. Somebody steps up, and it's always real evident when it's a quarterback, and everybody talks about it. But if you're going to have a good year, somebody's going to get injured, and somebody is going to have to step up and play, and the drop off can't be too much.
Do you when they buzz down from the booth that they're going to replay,
We're terrible.
Do you ever sneak a peek at the scoreboard or anything?
Oh, I constantly. I mean, there's the Buffalo. Buffalo. I won't talk about injuries, but we have not been very good at replays. I think we're 0 for 5 on critical ones. We're terrible on instant replays, and we had 2 of them that I thought there was a trapped ball and a step out of bounds. The week before, I thought there was a trapped ball and a step out of bounds, the exact same way. But I think if you looked at an entire season or an entire career, and you took all your instant replays, I imagine the ball would bounce your way as much as it does the other way. But we haven't been very fortunate. We do need to get it right the first. We need to get it right the first time, because we don't get it right the second time. It doesn't seem to go our way the second time.
Coach, in the past you've talked about game breakers, playmakers, guys that you said can make the big play. Are there some guys starting to emerge that way, or you're still looking for that game breaker type guy that can bust one open?
Well, I think you're always trying. I think most coaches would tell you the 2 biggest factors in an outcome of a game are explosive plays, not giving up explosive plays or getting them, and then turnovers, because you're less at bats or more at bats, and so those you got to have the explosive plays. You got to have some. I think you got to have a little creativity, and give guys a chance to have explosive plays. But we hope to get Quad Smith back. He's an explosive player. But you're still looking for somebody that can take it. They say take it to the house. If you got somebody that can take it to the house, make a guy miss, outrun people, that's got that kind of quality, it can be a difference maker. So you continue to look at that. But you're always going to have some guys that are. And I think in this league you have more people that are just such quality possession receivers, big quality possession receivers, than the true flyers that are picked up by the Power 5s a lot.
You put Jeremiah Knight back in punt return. He had a pretty good return. Is he one of those potential explosive players?
Jeremiah is just one of those. You sit there, the guy transfers. He was a walk-on to Ohio State, and he transfers here, because it's hard for almost anybody to walk on at Ohio State and play because how good the talent. And then you start watching him in practice, and you watch a little more, and all of a sudden he's not going to be on the scout team. Then it looks like he can get in the rotation. Then it looks like he's got some definite special stuff. And I think that's the way we've progressed with Jeremiah. He was a running back as much as a slot in high school, and he's got about 190 pounds, and he's very, very talented. And so I don't know. We're learning every day about Jeremiah. I know one thing: he comes in and studies film every spare moment of his life. He's a fanatical about his preparation and his attention to football. It means a lot to him. So I'm excited to have him in our program for 3 more years.
It looked like he was trying to make a play too. On the one punt return, even though he fumbled it out of bounds, it looked like he was trying to make a play and get something going.
Yeah, I mean he's got a lot of he's tough and he's got guts, and but he's also got ability. He's got nice runs great routes. He's got nice moves, and he's a talented young man. I'll say that. And because you didn't recruit him, and I think he probably would have been recruited to the MAC, but I think he was so intent on going to Ohio State and being a Buckeye that he didn't give anything else a thought.